Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Tiger True Crime. I am your host, Tyson Draper, and I've made it a point tonight to not yell into the microphone. So thank you guys for the feedback, no pun intended. How's everybody doing tonight? Let's look and see who we got here. First of all, can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up. I always want to make sure you guys can hear me right from the beginning. Hi, Tracy Knapp. Hi, Susan, mom of 8. My goodness, Susan, you must have your hands full. Hi, everyone. Hey, it's so good to see you all. Thank you for joining me tonight. I had so much information building that I felt like tonight we needed to have kind of a live, just to have a sit down together and go over some of these cases, kind of a smorgasbord of cases that we're going to talk about tonight. There's a lot to report on. As many of you know, you may have seen me out and about standing in the middle of the street in Mesa, Arizona this morning, covering a case that is just awful out here in Mesa, Arizona, that happened this morning with a family of, a family of 5, the parents and 2 children. And we still are waiting for some answers on exactly what happened leading up to it. But basically what happened is a mother and a father, 51-year-old Ruben Sanchez and 49-year-old Ana Guerrera, I think is how you say it. They were going through a divorce or they had recently divorced, and their 2 children were ages 18 and 12. And the 12-year-old, this is the story I heard. The 12-year-old and the 18-year-old were at home by themselves, enjoying their evening. Mom and dad showed up later on about 8:30, and they were in an argument, and the argument escalated, and one of the parents, they haven't said who. Now I have my suspicions of who it is, but one of the parents pulled out a gun and began firing. And the 18-year-old, her name was Amy Sanchez. She lost her life, and she was killed upstairs. And also dead was the mother, Ana, and also the father, Ruben Sanchez. Now, the 12-year-old girl, she ran to the next door neighbor and began banging on doors. And I talked to that neighbor. He does not want to come on camera, but his wife did an interview earlier with some of the news stations as I was standing there. And so she kind of got the word out of what happened. But what he told me was that they were upstairs getting their own kids to bed when they heard somebody banging on the front door. And they thought it was a prank because they have a lot of friends in the neighborhood. This is a young couple, and they like to play pranks on each other. So they thought it was a prank. And so they ran down there and they opened the door, and the 12-year-old had ran to the next house and was banging on that door, but nobody answered. So she came back. The wife grabbed her, took her inside. They set her down, and she was bleeding profusely from her wrist. She had been shot in the wrist, but luckily she was able to survive. The last time I checked, she was at Good Samaritan Hospital doing well and recuperating with her uncle. And I actually have I have a video here that I'd like to show you guys of the uncle doing an interview. So bear with me real quick as I pull that up. And hi, everybody. I'm not really paying attention to the comments right now, but hi, everyone. I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you for joining us tonight. So I'm going to try to share this screen with you real quick. Bear with me so we can kind of see what the latest is here. This is from 3TV. I'm going to steal it from them. So. First
At 5 o'clock, Mesa police are trying to figure out what led up to a murder-suicide overnight, which left a man, woman, and their teenage daughter dead. Late today, investigators released their names. Police tell us Ruben Sanchez, Ana Guerrero, and their 18-year-old daughter Amy Sanchez were found shot to death in the home near Signal Butte and Elliott.
Just a devastating story. The couple's other daughter, a 12-year-old girl, managed to escape and is recovering in the hospital tonight. Our Carissa Planup has been following this. She's live at Banner Children's with an update.
Family tells me 12-year-old Andrea was shot in the arm and likely suffered a concussion. Her uncle says she got out of surgery this afternoon and she is surrounded by family.
Well, I've been crying for pretty much since 9 o'clock last night.
Exhausted and heartbroken, Marco Sanchez met with me today to tell me how his niece Andrea is recovering after surviving what police are calling a murder-suicide.
She doesn't remember much. And we really can't talk to her about it till after the investigation's over.
Mesa police responded to a shots fired call last night and found 3 people shot to death in a home. Ruben Sanchez, Ana Guerrero, and their daughter, 18-year-old Amy. Police say 12-year-old Andrea was hurt but managed to run away and get help.
Well, don't want to think that, but can you imagine being in those shoes? It's when we think about it, it just drives us nuts. Anybody.
Marco says his brother Ruben went through a rough divorce with Anna, but no one ever expected violence.
I just call it fatal attraction. That's pretty much it. We don't know.
Mesa police are not saying who the shooter was, leaving family with many questions. Marco says his focus is making sure his niece has what she needs to get better. He had this message.
How do you say, love your children? How do you say that? Love your kids. Think twice.
And for those of you who want to help, Marco says the family could really use your prayers right now. He's not sure how long Andrea is going to be here recovering at the hospital, but when she's out, she will have a home with Marco. Reporting live in Mesa, Carissa Planup for Arizona's Family.
All right, welcome back, guys. So, as you can see, devastating news out of Mesa, Arizona this morning. That was the uncle, and that poor girl, 12 years old. She's got a rough road to hope moving forward, but she's got somebody good there that can help her, Marcos. And he said he needs your guys' prayers, and that's one of the reasons I have this channel, guys, is to raise awareness for these cases, as you all know, and also to help people raise money. I don't think Ana has a GoFundMe set up yet. I don't know if Marcos knows how to do it. I did talk to the neighbor about setting up a GoFundMe for this little 12-year-old girl. So if anybody wants to look into that, I will be looking into it as well. But we need to get her a GoFundMe started to where, they can help with these funeral expenses and everything like that. It's just awful. What a tragedy. So I want to show you a little bit of footage also that I was able to take over there today. I want to say thank you before I forget, because I happened to catch this one out of the corner of my eye. Jackie Jacks, thank you very much for the donation and for being here tonight. Guys, I was able to get some live video over there. Now, I understand that the news, 12 News, ABC, 15, whatever, Fox, they have their certain things that they do. But one of the things I like to do as an independent YouTuber is to get more in the trenches and to film things that they don't film or that they don't want to film. A lot of times they just like to sit in their car and while I'm out filming. So I wanted to show you a few things and kind of give you a better idea of the landscape where this all took place. So let me see if I can pull that up here real fast. And you guys have to bear with me. I'm getting better at this computer stuff, but I'm still not at the expert level just yet. But here we go. Let's see if this is This is the one right here, I think. This is one of them.
All right, well, good morning, everyone. Here I am in East Mesa, Arizona, where overnight we had a shooting in this house behind me. We had 3 people that were killed, another person that was injured that escaped from the house or came to a neighbor and was able to summons help. So anyway, we're out here. This just happened late last night, so we're one of the first ones on the scene here. But I kind of wanted to get some film and find out a little bit about what's going on here. So and as you can see, this truck right here is the crime scene cleanup crew. So they're in here cleaning this up. You can see the door is open. So again, we're out here. I might go live here on YouTube. Just stay with us, everyone.
All right, so that was kind of an introduction. I did get some more film of the cleanup crew bringing out belongings from the house, you know, but I wasn't able to. I don't think I have that one ready to go here, guys. But anyway, I want to remind you all during this difficult time in life. I mean, it's hard for everybody, right? We're all kind of going through this stuff together as Americans. I mean, if you're from overseas, I'm not sure what it's like in your own country, but over here in America, we're going through a lot of very trying times. And I want to remind everybody, if you're going through a hard time like everybody seems to be nowadays, please do not forget that we have resources here in America that you can reach out to. Let me see if I can pull this. I wanted to pull up a phone number real quick. Just as a reminder, you guys, if you're feeling stressed out or you're feeling like you just can't cope anymore, or you can't take it, there's always help out there. And here's the number right here. I'm going to put it up on the screen real quick. So there's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-8255. Please write that number down or put it in your phone if you feel like you just cannot hang on anymore. Hang in there, guys. Hang in there. We're all in this together. So, devastating news out of Mesa, Arizona. I wanted to bring that to your attention, guys, so we can raise awareness for this 12-year-old girl that survived, so we can get her a GoFundMe and we can get her any kind of help that we possibly can. So let's see. I'm going to go over here to the comments real quickly. If you guys have any questions about that case, let's get them on the screen now. If not, we're going to move right along. Like I said, we kind of got a smorgasbord of things going on tonight. So, okay, we've got Lori Buchanan. I know what she is going through. I was 12 when my dad did this. Lori, that is awful. I'm so sorry that you had to experience that. And I hope that my show tonight is not digging up any bad memories for you. But, man, on behalf of all of us, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. You know, one thing that I notice, the more I get into this and the more people I meet, there are so many stories like that of you guys that have been through these trying, horrible experiences, and you're survivors. You're true warriors. You're survivors. And I have no doubt that this little 12-year-old girl will do the same, and she'll have a great life. It's going to be different and it's going to be challenging, but she can still make it great. And Lori, you're proof of that. Thank you for sharing that. All right, guys, I'm going to move along and Chelsea, thank you so much for being here, Chelsea. I couldn't agree more. I mean, the phone number, it's a resource that we have, and I wanted to remind people of it, and it's there, and it does help. You know, I've talked to a lot of people that have used it, that it's actually helped. But without opening a whole nother can of worms, we do need aggressive mental health reform in this country. Absolutely. And I'm actually that's part of my mission in doing all of this, is I want to raise awareness on that as well. I'm just kind of slowly putting the pieces together to do that. But you're absolutely right. Back in the 60s and 70s, or maybe even earlier, and I don't pretend to be an expert on this, but we used to put people in mental hospitals, mental institutions, and we don't really do that much anymore here in America. A lot of them are just out wandering around on the street, homeless, into drugs. And this stuff is just, it's awful what's going on in our country right now. So I agree, Chelsea, and thank you for bringing that up. Okay. All right. So what I want to talk about next, guys, because I had my next guest show up, and they are the daughters of Marlena Mazel, who you guys all know. If you're new to my channel, this was a missing woman from Colorado, from the South Fork area. And she was missing for an extended period of time. And then recently her car was discovered, and also her body, and she was deceased. And so here with me tonight, we wanted to give an update on how that case is going and what's going on with it. So I invited her daughters to come on tonight, and they're here with me. So I'm going to invite them on and let them give us a brief update for this next case. So we're going to shift gears here, guys. So. Hey, guys.
Hi.
How are you guys doing?
Hanging in there. Yeah, we're hanging in there. It's been pretty rough, to say the least, but
yeah, I can only imagine. Guys, but you guys are true warriors. What's happening over there in your world? I haven't had a chance to touch bases with you guys over the last couple of days. What's going on? Anything new?
So they did, positively ID the female body as our mom on March 1st. And then after that, we planned to come down to Colorado. And the first morning we got here, we went to this little coffee shop. There's not many places in South Fork. We were staying there. And we ran into one of the search and rescue fire department employees. And it was the same one that we had talked to about drones. And just to remind everybody, we still have not talked to the lead investigators at all. They still haven't called us about a body even being found, or notified us about our mom's belongings that they have. Nothing. So when we saw this fire marshal, he recognized us. It was pretty obvious. And he looked right at me and Sarah and just walked out. No sorries, no condolences, no nothing.
Yeah, and he's the one who we begged to actually put the drones up, because we were like, it either finds something or it doesn't. There's no harm in taking it up. And if y'all, are not actually out there searching and y'all try that, then at least, we cover some sort of land, in what time that y'all will take to search. And we basically, in the end, ended up kind of having to beg them to do so. And then there still wasn't drones that went out until even 2 weeks or so after that, when we came back down the second time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys this question, because I know this is a question that everybody's going to have.
Yeah.
Do you as the daughters, do you feel like there was foul play involved, or do you feel like that your mom simply went off the road, a terrible, tragic accident? What is your gut feeling telling you guys? What's going on with that?
I honestly think that however this happened, which is still being investigated through information that they did gather from the car and whatnot. But to me, I just feel like there were people involved who made this happen.
Okay.
I mean, there's too much leading up the night before for other people to not be involved somehow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just,
And I mean, with how she was talking with us the weeks before, or whatever, it just doesn't really make any sense. And then all this information that came up. So, it's really hard to say. We just know that it's still an investigation. We are not sure why it's still an investigation, and they haven't given us any details on, what is going on, because they're actually looking into whatever they did find. And basically, one of the things, we're actually in Trinidad, but we left South Fork today. And one of the things we wanted to do there was make sure that the investigators that have not called us at all would give us what stuff or belongings they had, her valuables, her jewelry, whatever, because we haven't gotten a call. So we went up there to try to do that. And basically, we're not allowed to have any of our mom's things except for our mom. Because the case isn't closed, but we're not being really told about that. So it's very confusing. It's like we're trying to go in different areas to have closure, but we're getting either honestly harassed or we're getting, no answers.
Yeah, we
So,
went to Dollar General, and I went in because it's one of the only stores out in South Fork. I went in to get a Sprite and some cigarettes. And it just so happens that Jennifer was working, and that's the woman who had an affair with Kurt. And we didn't know she was going to be there, but we were standing in line, and I said, I'm not going to walk out of here and not at least say something. And we had it on recording, and I walked up and I started paying for my stuff.
but she was on her phone as soon as we walked into the store. She was on her phone texting someone, and then the entire time we were in line, she was texting someone, and then the following things happened.
So yeah, right before I got to the counter, she pulled out her phone and started texting after she looked up and saw us. And then I got up to the counter and I started paying for my stuff, and she put her phone away. Well, I'm not saying anything. I was recording this the whole time, and all I said was, "Do you know who I am?" And she said, "Yes, I do." And then I said, "Well, you're going to remember me for the rest of your life." And I walked away. And minutes later, Officer Hart, the one who has a relationship outside of work with Jennifer, apparently enough to have a personal contact phone number because she texted him, went up to Dollar General immediately with a stack of papers and walked in to Dollar General to talk to Jennifer. And then he walked out to our car where we were sitting in the vehicle on a phone call.
Did not ask us any questions. We were actually on the phone with CBI at the time because Slater had finally gotten back to us because we were playing phone tag. And so he just comes up and starts asking Megan if we're annoying her.
Yeah, he said, "Are y'all going to stop annoying her?"
But he didn't even ask like what happened, if we had it recorded, or if we even did anything. He just got up there like that, and we have pictures of him going in and out and how quick he was there after the time that we have recorded.
Officer came up to me and said, are y'all going to still be up here annoying her?" When he is supposed to be one of the investigators on the case of my dead mother. And did not say sorry once, accused me of something.
And he was not trying to even hear anything that we had to say. We did not do anything wrong. We didn't threaten anyone. We didn't, start cussing someone out, reach across the counter, and we literally have it recorded. So there's no, anything about that. But we have the times of when the pictures were taken and when we were in that line when the recording started.
And Officer Hart
and how quick he got up there for her, but that he wouldn't come out the night we found our mom's car.
We were on the side of a mountain in the pitch black, but he couldn't come out at 7:30 at night. He didn't even tell us that y'all don't need to be out there or anything, but he sure as hell got up to Dollar General really quick.
And this
Yeah.
situation actually happened right before we were going to be driven up. We were waiting on our friend, AK actually, and he was going to come and take us to the funeral home where we were going to go be able to spend our last times with our mother. So all that stuff and us getting harassed up there happened before we're going to do this. We didn't care about them or what they were doing. We were trying to go do what we're supposed to do, you know.
Yes.
And we get treated like that by the people that were supposed to help find her in the first place.
Yeah.
No.
Well, those are some interesting dynamics there, you know, walking into that Dollar General with Jennifer being in there. And, you know, it was probably a uncomfortable situation for you guys and for her as well. And
mainly for her. I felt pretty comfortable.
yeah. So, yeah, that's truly unfortunate that you guys are feeling like, you know, you've kind of got on the wrong side of law enforcement, or not even really. You guys haven't. I'm not saying you've done anything wrong. It's just you're feeling that.
Hansy actually met us out. Hansy from Pagosa, the patrolman that helped us before and stuff, he actually went out to the spot where her car went off, met us when it was snowing even, you know, still met us over there and took us out and took a picture of us throwing these stones that we got out, you know, over the mountain.
And also in Monte Vista,
he cared to do that. So
in Monte Vista, a few policemen and the sheriff of the county met us at the funeral home when we went to view our mother. And they were never even involved in the case. I had spoken to the sheriff within the first week of my mother's disappearance, but other than that, they weren't, you know, really involved or instructed on anything to do. But our mother ended up in Monte Vista, so
yeah,
they had enough respect and just
compassion.
Compassion to really just even be there for us and wait until we left. Be there before and wait until we left. And that's the type of police we needed this whole time.
Yeah, well, you guys, I told you in the beginning, you always have this platform. We can come on here and have these discussions. You know, they are expected to work and behave in such a way that is prudent and is helpful to you guys. And if that's not happening, if it's turning into something other than that, then there's channels that you guys can go through as well. And I don't know what the whole story is. I see Gonzo is commenting on here, you know, making some comments about the South Fork Police Department and stuff like that. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but there's an expectation there for them. And if it's not happening, then it's time to start calling people out.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
Love you, AK. You're the best.
South Fork is going down. Yes, they will be going down. It's just a matter of time because we're going to do this the right way.
Okay, so now go ahead, Sarah. I'm sorry.
We weren't trying to do stuff like they did our mom, you know, and there's honestly words that you can say that will probably put enough uncomfortableness without even having to be vulgar about it, because that's guilt that you feel, you know, but that didn't mean that I didn't have a right of speech.
No, absolutely.
I know my freedoms that we do have.
Well, you know, let's face it, Sarah, this whole thing has not gone smoothly. It's gone very rough, and it's been another trial for you guys on top of losing your mother, you know. So just stay strong. Here's a good comment from Nancy Eileen. Stay strong. And and so aside from that, we can talk about that as soon as I find out a little more details from you guys, because we didn't have a chance to really discuss too much today.
There's been a lot that's gone on in between each time. So
yeah, and you guys sent me some video or some audio and some pictures and stuff that I haven't had a chance to look at. It hasn't got my full attention yet because I was busy all day. But I want to look at it and bring you guys back on. But aside from all that, how's it going with your mom? Were you guys able to get her back to Texas and preparing a funeral and everything now, or?
We're still working on that. It's been just a work in progress because we had to figure our way back to Colorado to get away from our families for a week again and all that. And so we had to wait a couple days for her to be cremated because that's sort of the only choice that we had.
Yeah.
And then the situation of her, it kind of was the best thing to do. So she's in here. This is something that she would have probably decorated with, and it seems so small, but we gave her the most beautiful thing that we could, and we're still going to have a small funeral with the family, just the family, and hopefully that's not a nightmare because we've just had enough, and we're ready to kind of just go through whatever process that we're supposed to go through, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it'll be beautiful. I know our subscribers really enjoyed the vigil, and and your daughter up there dancing and everything. They got a kick out of that as well. But I'm so glad that you've got each other. You guys are a great team. And it kind of reminds me a lot of me and my brothers and the siblings. It's kind of a love-hate relationship sometimes.
You don't even know.
Yeah, you guys remind me a lot of me and my brothers, but I'm super proud of you. I know everybody's got your back, and we support you guys 100% in everything that you're trying to do for your mom. And again, it's very noble. It's very noble to sit back and watch you guys do this for your mother, who you loved dearly, and who you're honoring now. So kudos to you guys.
It's to her honor, because she deserved a lot more, and we're still going to make sure that we do everything that we can
to make what we can
protect her honor. And anyways, thank you for the time today, for sure.
Yeah.
You're welcome, ladies. And let's look a little bit more into that discussion that we were having earlier about what's going on with law enforcement or what's not going on and stuff like that. So we're always good for raising awareness, but hang in there, ladies, and keep us posted. And I look forward to having you guys back on the show soon.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's always good to hear from the Mazzell girls. I think Sarah goes by Ferguson, but she's still a Mazzell girl, the daughters of Marlena. So anybody have any questions or comments here? I see my three rosebuds. May your mom's spirit never be forgotten. Yeah, absolutely. And we've said this before, but I'll say it again. It's very refreshing to see these girls out honoring their mother and leaving no stone unturned. I look forward to hearing more about their story of what's been going on lately and seeing if maybe we can assist them further on that. So. Looking at the comments before we move on, I would like to talk about the Suzanne Morphew case next. I know a lot of you guys are here that have been following me for a long time. When we first started this journey with Suzanne Morphew went missing last year, it's been almost a year. It's hard to believe. This year has gone by fast in some ways and very slow in other ways, but you guys have been here every step of the way, and there's really no news anymore. I mean, hardly about Suzanne Morphew. We did get word from Lauren Scharf and a couple of other sources. I saw it on the Daily Mail where Barry Morphew has sold the house, and he got nearly $1.7 million for the house in Maysville on Puma Path. So I'm going to ask a favor right now. And I had good luck doing this the other night. And I don't really like putting people on the spot, but I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to ask Teresa Fountain. I know you're here tonight. Teresa, will you would you mind coming on the show tonight? And I asked you for your email earlier, and it would be hard for me to scroll through here and find it, but can I send you a link real fast and have you come on here and we could talk a little bit about Suzanne Morphew? I know you're, in case you guys don't know who Teresa Fountain is, she's one of Suzanne Morphew's friends that actually knew her pretty well and could kind of speak to us about Suzanne's character, what type of friend she was. You know, we haven't really heard from a lot of her friends. I know we heard from Andy Mormon and you know, in the beginning, Trevor Noel talked about how wonderful Suzanne is. But we haven't really heard from one of her solid friends, and I would love to hear from Teresa Fountain, and I may have scared her away. And if I did, Teresa, I'm sorry, but I just thought it would be really neat to have you come on and tell us about Suzanne. Okay, here she is. All right, perfect, Teresa. So, Teresa, put your email in here again, and I'll send it to you right now. So bear with me for just a few minutes, guys, because I'm going to have to send this over to Teresa Fountain real quick. Okay. So it looks like she's saying she just got out of the shower, and man, now you're really making me feel bad. So let me give you a little time to put yourself together, Teresa, and we're going to go on and talk about Barry selling the house. And then when you're ready, just let me know and we'll bring you on here. Sound like a deal? All right. Well, we're going to start off with Wilma Smith. I think Barry's a sick, sad dog for what he's doing. And that's going to start us off tonight. Wilma, thank you for being here, Wilma. I always love reading your comments. And I know a lot of people feel that same way about Barry Morphew. And, you know, in the beginning, guys, it was really difficult for me. I was in a weird spot. I was in a kind of a difficult situation. And let me try to explain what I mean. Because I had that video with Barry talking about, you know, the different scenarios that could have happened to Suzanne. And he showed me where her bike was discovered and all this and that. You know, I was in a situation where I felt bad because I filmed Barry without, you know, that I basically said a fib, or I lied to him, and I told him the camera was off. Now at the time, I didn't know if it was on or off for sure. I mean, I was hoping that it was on, and I've said this before because I wanted to hear what he would say, and I've said this before. But I felt bad, and I didn't want to say a lot of bad things about Barry because I didn't want to be wrong and have him be innocent. And then, you know, I look like this horrible person for filming him, and he didn't even do it, you know? So for the longest time, I didn't say anything bad about Barry. I was kind of neutral, and I was just trying to figure out what had happened. And if Barry was responsible, then it would come out in the wash, right? But as time's gone on, the guy has made it so hard for me to keep my mouth shut and not criticize him, you know, because in the beginning, we all saw the plea video that he put out that talked about how much he loved her. And because, honey, I love you, and I just want you to come back. I just want you to come home. And we all were suspicious, and we all looked at it kind of sideways and wondered if he was telling the truth, you know, especially with what happened with Chris Watts and Patrick Frazee and some of these other cases in Colorado. And so we all were kind of suspicious, but as time has gone on, guys, this has gotten ridiculous. You know, Barry Morphew hasn't done anything, has not done anything to try to find his wife. You know, I mean, if you want a good example of what normal is in my book, now everybody's normal might be different, right? But in my book, normal is what we just saw with Sarah and Megan. That's normal. Where people get out and they look for their mom and they look for their wife. And that's the way that the Suzanne Morphew case started out, right? Trevor Noel, he was the family spokesman, and he gets on there and he talks about how wonderful she is, and they're going to exhaust every resource possible to find her. And then it just stops. And Trevor Noel disappears. And Barry doesn't do anything. For the last 10 months, Barry has not done one thing to try to find Suzanne, and neither have those girls. The girls haven't done anything. They've just sat there with Barry and did who God knows what while their mom is gone. I just don't understand it. And I've racked my brain, all of us have, for 10 months trying to make some sense out of it. And Barry just continues to do things that make him look guilty. I want to show you an interview here real quick. Bear with me for 1 second. I'm going to pull this up. This is by Andy Mormon. Now Andy Mormon gives Barry a very specific set of things that he can do to clear his name and to stop having people harass him, in his words. Do you think Barry did it? He didn't do anything. Listen to this. Let me pull this up real quick.
My sister was just the sweetest person ever, and anyone would have been happy to be friends or neighbors with her. She was unconfrontational, just a really kind person that believed in God and knows the difference between right and wrong. And she has 2 daughters without answers right now. My father at 87 has cancer and needs answers, and I'm not going to give up. I'm going to look. I'm coming back out there.
A husband and 2 daughters are begging to bring their mom home.
Oh, Suzanne, if anyone is out there that can hear this, that has you, please, we'll do whatever it takes to bring you back.
Morphew disappeared on Mother's Day after reportedly going on a bike ride in the area of County Road 225 and Highway 50 near Salida.
I went to where the bicycle was found. It was gone, but they had some flagging down there that marked the spot. And I stood there and looked, and I realized that nobody rode over the side of that hill. There would have been signs of a struggle, or you would have been skinned up. The bike would have been mangled if you'd have gone down that hill like that. When you find a bicycle at the bottom of a ravine that you're almost certain nobody rode over there, and an animal did not attack her because there absolutely was no blood evidence and no tracks on the ground, no scent from an animal, it leads me to believe a human being's involved with this. And now it's just a matter of finding her and then letting the authorities sort out the who, whys, and when. Please, Barry, if you could see this, I would really love it if you would take the time to revisit the authorities and go over everything once again. Take a voice analysis and a lie detector and clear yourself. Put my mind at ease and everybody out there's mind at ease. If you want to shut the rumors down, that's the way you do it. You need to find your wife. That should be your only goal, is to find your wife. And whatever you're asked to do by the authorities is what you should do. If you're not guilty, step up to the plate. I want to believe that myself. I certainly don't want it to be Barry. I really do not. That destroys 2 families, and that's not where I want this to go.
There it is. It's a simple recipe, Barry. I mean, Andy Mormon said it perfectly, ladies and gentlemen. He said it perfectly. All you have to do, Barry, is revisit the authorities and go in and take a lie detector test and a voice stress test and look for Suzanne. That was months ago. Barry hasn't done a single damn thing. Not a thing. And you can't even like give this guy the benefit of the doubt, not even a little bit. He turns around and sells her house. That's awful. I mean, you're going to try to sit here and tell me and tell the world that your wife just disappeared and you're this loving husband that's heartbroken and you're sitting at home waiting for her and, you know, pining for her to come back, but yet you're going to turn around and sell the house? I'm sorry, man, but actions speak a lot louder than words. And Barry, I hope you see this because you haven't done a thing to find your wife. Not a single thing. Andy Mormon told you how to do it. It's sad that you even have to be told how to do it. You should know instinctively what to do when your wife goes missing. And it looks like one of you has to go to bed. Angela Cook, thank you. She's over in the UK. She dropped in $20 as a donation. Thank you and good night. Thank you for being here. Bless you guys over in the UK. Also, thank you, Triple D, Shaughnessy. I didn't get your comment up here on the screen in time, but she said, did Mallory do something during a heated argument and Barry had to clean it up? In my opinion, snow is going to melt soon, Tyson. Thank you, Triple D. Now, guys, I don't know about the daughters. I know we've already hashed over this a million times, but I don't care anymore because if we got to hash over it 1,000,001, we're damn sure going to, because Suzanne deserves that. She deserves people to step up. You know what? And this has been a long haul. If you think about it, starting back in June. June is when I showed up on the scene. June. She went missing in May. And we went through Christmas. We went through anniversaries. We went through birthdays. We've gone through everything. It's been almost a year. And we still got the same old song and dance from Barry and his daughters, which is absolutely nothing. Selling everything off and just acting like Suzanne never even existed. And I'm sorry, but we've got millions of strangers around the world. I got a message for you, Macy, Mallory, Barry, Trevor, all of you guys. They are not going to forget about Suzanne. They're not. This is never going to go away. This is always going to be a problem for you. You're not going to be able to just move on with your life and forget about Suzanne because we're all too emotionally invested in this. And we're not going to stop until she's found. And sometimes these things take years and years, and we understand that. But we're not going anywhere. Now, I want to get back to Barry selling the house real quick because that was the whole point here. You know, I said it a long time ago, and I'm going to say it again. Even Motel 6 leaves the light on for you. Barry didn't even stay in the house long enough to leave the light on for Suzanne, you know, in the event that she would ever come home. Now the home is sold. And he also sold the property in the Longhorn Ranch subdivision. So he's pulling up stakes. From what I hear, and I don't know how accurate it is, don't quote me on it, but he's trying to make his way back to Indiana. Now, if you sit back and you wonder how long this whole thing has been going on, what I mean is this. Did Barry have a plan to do this a long time before they moved to Indiana? It's my opinion. And that's the beauty of YouTube. I can state my opinion anytime I want. And this is only an opinion, but why did they move out there in the first place? If he was just going to go out there and his wife disappears and then he packs up and moves back to Indiana, it makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't know. I'm not in his shoes. I don't pretend to know everything, but this guy is shady, man. This guy is shady, and we need to keep our eye on him, and we need to continue to talk about Suzanne and continue to try to keep it in the public eye. And guys, if you have any contacts, if you're a channel that's bigger than me, which there's obviously tons and tons of, I don't know if anybody watches my channel, but let's try to reach out to Nancy Grace again and some of these other, Dr. Phil's and stuff, because we need to keep this story out there and keep it alive. All right, guys, I'm going to shut up for just a minute and give you guys a chance to say some things. Did we ever hear back from Teresa Fountain? If I put her on the spot, guys, she doesn't have to come on here. Teresa, you don't have to come on here. It was just a thought that I had. I know it would be nice. I would love to hear from you. And I think a lot of other people would too. But Donna West says, it's obvious her daughters do not give a rat's end about their mother. That poor lady fought against cancer, not one time, but twice. What goes around comes around. Well, Donna, that's the thing, man, is for a long time, we wanted to give those girls the benefit of the doubt. Did they love their mom? I'm sure they did. I don't know. I don't know what the dynamics were. I've ran every scenario through my head about 1 million times, and maybe they didn't have a great relationship. I don't know, but their actions speak volumes. Their lack of actions, I should say. Okay, the Joy Catcher. Hey, the Joy Catcher, great to see you. Girls, think of what you want to be one day. Is this the best way to get there in peace? You girls deserve peace, so honesty is needed. Yep. Joy, you hit it on the head, but I want to piggyback off of that and say, girls, do the right thing. If you know something or there's something that you've carried around for almost a year, now is the time to get it off your chest. Please just go talk to the authorities. Please pick up the phone. Please, if there's something that just doesn't feel right or out of place, something that's been nagging at you, it doesn't matter how small it is, pick up the phone and call the authorities and let them know and let them decide if it's something or not. Mama Bear, I'm going to put your comment up here real quick. If the girls aren't talking for some reason because scared of Barry, I'm going to throw it out there. There's a ton of resources in Salida to protect you. Just reach out if you want to find your mom. Okay, I hope that you girls are watching this stuff. I really doubt they are, guys. Let's be honest. I mean, Barry has probably poisoned the well, or maybe they just don't like me, and understandably so if they don't. But just know, girls, that we have been here every step of the way just wanting to help you. Look at what we were able to do with the Mazel girls. They stepped forward to help their mom, to find their mom, and look how we were able to assist them in doing that. And I wasn't able to actually physically go to Colorado. We had people there, AK and Gonzo and some other people that were actually there putting their boots on the ground. But we were able to raise awareness for these girls, where they were able to have people go into their GoFundMe and help out in that way, and also raise awareness. So there's things that I can do, and there, but more importantly, girls, there's things that people here, a part of this community, that they can do that I can't. But what I'm trying to say is we're just here to help you in any way possible. Just reach out and we will help you find your mom. That's all any of us ever wanted to do, including Lauren Scharf. And I say that because I know Lauren talked to one of the girls and it wasn't pretty. I mean, it was awful the way that the daughter talked to Lauren Scharf. And I don't want that to be the spirit of the conversation. I mean, we're not trying to attack the Morphew family or you know, put them down or look down at them or anything like that. It's just we're trying to find your mom. And we've been doing that for almost a year now. So please step up and help us help you, right? A quote from Jerry Maguire, one of my favorite movies: help us help you. Thank you, Joy Catcher. Guys, I honestly can't believe Barry sold the house. It makes me sad because it closes that door on Suzanne. And I mean, I know we already pretty much closed the door, and as far as you know, hoping that she's alive, we still hold out hope. But who knows, man? What if she came walking up one day? I mean, who knows, really? What if she came walking up like Elizabeth Smart did, not knowing what is going on? This stuff happens, guys. It's within the realm of possibility. Look at the Kloss girl, Jamie Kloss, that was kept under a bed, held hostage. It happens. And I'm just saying, hypothetically, what if Suzanne Morphew was to come home one day and find out, oh, well, Barry, he's already sold the house and he's got a girlfriend and he's living in Indiana and he's just living it up. He's got $1 million in the bank. That's terrible. It's terrible. Lisa Chapo, justice for Suzanne. And we're not going to stop. And we're not going to stop. We're just getting warmed up. Barry can sell the house. He can run and hide. He can sell cars. He can sell land. He can do all that. But we're never going to stop. I've promised too many people, including Suzanne, that we are not going to stop. Guys, I wish I had more on Suzanne Morphew. I don't, because there's not a lot of information. Barry Morphew did sell the house, if you guys didn't know that. And he's got $1.625 million out of it. A group out of Nevada bought it. And I'm going to put this up here because Real Gonzo sent a $5 donation. Keep the lights on, y'all. Barry is trying to shut them off. Won't happen. No, we're not turning off the lights, Gonzo. And you, my friend, are a beacon of light. Thank you. We're not shutting off the light. There may not be a lot to talk about, but we'll talk about whatever we can, right? We'll keep her name out there. We'll keep going. All right, here's Teresa Fountain. Okay, I want to come on another night, Tyson. Schedule me in. Teresa, I totally respect that. And I'm sorry I put you on the spot. Sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission. But I just wanted to ask you if you would come on here and share some thoughts with us about Suzanne Morphew. But we will pencil it in for next time. Cook Goose, thank you for the super sticker. And thank you, Gonzo. Thank you also to Chrissy. I wasn't fast enough to get that one on the screen. Chrissy, $4.99 donation. Barry was saying the whole time that she was abducted. And if he thought that, why would he sell her house? Exactly. That's a really good question there. Chrissy. And not only why would he? Oh, here we go. I'm going to put this up so you guys can see it. Why would he even go into those other theories if she thought she was abducted, right? I mean, he had already put out the plea video when I met him. So if he was getting on there saying, whoever's got you, no questions asked, we'll do whatever it takes to bring you back, no questions asked. Well, what does that mean? That means somebody's got her, right? Somebody put her in a van or a car and took her away, and he's asking them for her safe return, no questions asked, $100,000 reward. So when I met him, why did he even bring up the mountain lion or, her getting disoriented and falling in the river? Why would he even bring that up if he was so hell-bent on her being abducted? Again, guys, nothing that Barry Morphew has done has made an ounce of sense. None of it. Zero. It only makes sense if he's guilty. I mean, if you look at it from the opposite way, like I tried not to do for so long, then it's obvious that he's doing all the things that is making him look guilty. And that makes us all the more frustrated. Why isn't there an arrest? Why isn't there enough circumstantial evidence or probable cause or whatever they need to make an arrest? Now, they just don't have anything. And, maybe Barry was right. Maybe when he told me that they botched it. Maybe they did. Maybe they botched a lot of the evidence. And maybe that's why they haven't made an arrest. I don't know. But what I do know is the frustration and I don't even know the word, just the frustration and the waiting has gone on long enough, and it's just going to continue to get worse and worse as time goes by, and we hit the year mark and there's still no breaks in this case. But we're not going to stop. Right here, Nancy Penny, the new district attorney, will probably make a move. I don't know. That's what we've all been saying since late last year, but again, it all comes down to whether they have evidence or not. That is the bottom line. If they don't, then forget it. Because let's look at Patrick Frazee. Patrick Frazee would have walked had he not involved Crystal Kenny. And if you guys don't know about that case, then I'm sorry for veering off in this direction, but I want to make a point here. Patrick Frazee, in my opinion, would have walked if they didn't have the star witness, his girlfriend, Crystal Kenny. And the problem with the Barry Morphew case is we don't have a Crystal Kenny. We don't have that star witness because, in my opinion, Barry was smart enough to cover all of his bases. And really, in my opinion, Barry may be the only one on this planet who knows exactly where Suzanne is at this very moment. The girls might not know. Trevor Noel probably doesn't know. I don't know what they know, but they know something. Trevor Noel would not have gone silent the way he did if he didn't know something. If something wasn't revealed to him. So they know something. But I don't know. It's frustrating. Yeah, I know the snow's going to melt, Triple D. And we may have to we may have to organize something. I don't know what yet, but I know I talked to Lauren Scharf recently, and she was talking about something going to be happening on Suzanne's birthday, and then also the year mark of when she disappeared in May. So there's a couple of things coming up. I will be coming back to Colorado. Don't worry. I'm looking here. Bruce Dodson. Oh, where to go? Jumped on me. Citizens arrest. Hey, you know what? The way everything's going in our country right now, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised some things like that start happening. Well, Celtic girl, I don't know. All I heard was one, but Barry's got a lot of secrets that he doesn't want to get out. And maybe he's got two. I don't know. One other thing I wanted to talk about tonight, guys, is the Alexa Sharkey case, because it is very similar to Barry Morphew's case. Alexis Sharkey is a young woman that was a Instagram influencer that was found deceased and naked in Houston, Texas. And this case is not getting a lot of coverage like I thought it would. It's not getting very much coverage. Her husband, who reminds me a lot of Barry Morphew, Tom Sharkey, has been hiding. And I've been trying like heck to find out what he's been up to, where he's been, what he's doing, what his movements are. But because gas prices here in Arizona have hit an all-time high, I wasn't able to go out there. I'm on spring break this week, and I have a week off of school, and I wanted to go out to Texas to try to take care of a couple of things out there, but I'm not able to at this time. And that's just because basically because of gas prices and things like that. Now, I'm not saying that to make, it is what it is, but that's a case that needs to be talked about more, and we're going to start talking about it more. I want you guys to join me for that. Tom Sharkey is suspect number one, and just like Barry is, in my opinion. And we need to start looking at what happened over there in Houston, Texas with her. She's a beautiful young girl, much like Suzanne, who deserves justice. So, well, guys, I know we went over the hour mark. We've maintained about 600 people here tonight. I thank you all for coming out. Guys, again, I want to remind you that if you're going through a tough time, reach out to somebody. Reach out to somebody for help. Guys, don't be ashamed. I had to do it. I had to reach out for help when I was going through some of my own personal trials. And I still go through stuff every single day. Every one of us do. Every one of us is struggling in some way, guys. But we cannot let this wave of evil defeat us. We have to stay in here and stay in the game. And it's been hard, guys. It's been hard for me and for a lot of you to stay in this game and keep fighting for justice and fighting for what's right. We wonder what we can do. We're just one person. What can we do? What can we do to help? Well, this is it. We can get on here and we can raise awareness and we can be a force for good. And that's what I vow to do, guys. And I thank you guys all for coming out tonight, for supporting me in this cause. And I just look forward to the future of working with you guys and continuing to cover these cases, because you guys are amazing. And I've learned so much just by watching you guys and your strength and your perseverance, your stick-with-itness when things get hard. You guys are amazing, man. And Cindy Lee, there's so many people that I would like to thank individually, but I want to say it collectively here tonight. Thank you guys, to all of you. I love you. I appreciate you. Keep doing good things out there. And I'll try to get on here more often to where we can have these discussions. But thank you guys so much. Please share my videos if you haven't. And also please subscribe if you haven't already. There's one more thing I want to put up here. This is from Cat H. Thank you, Cat, for the donation. Divorce in Colorado is a newspaper ad and 30 days. And if the missing Suzanne doesn't respond, he's divorced. Well, I hate to say it, Cat H, but that's probably what's coming next. I'm not going to put anything past Barry Morphew anymore. I'm truly disappointed in you, Barry. Truly disappointed. We've been asking you for months, politely, and sometimes not so politely, I will admit, but politely we've asked you to come out and say something for your wife. You haven't done it. Shame on you. Shame on you. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next time. God bless you.